What's up, YouTube fam? This is your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and we back with another video. Let's hear from tonight's sponsor, and then we'll jump right into it. This video is brought to you by Cool Green Clothing. Cool Green Clothing is a Baltimore-based clothing line that started back in 2018 and has been growing strong ever since. Make sure you follow Cool Green Clothing on Facebook and IG at Cool Green Clothing, and check out their website, coolgreenclothing.com, where you can find the latest cool green fashions and hats, women's apparel, and the latest men's collection. Remember, if you ain't coolin' and getting the green, you're in the way.
Yeah, shout out my nigga Cool Green on the fit though. Got me drippy, you heard?
Oh man, check out my man, yo, you feel me? Yo, be getting me right, you feel me? Big clothing for real, you feel me? Come with everything for real, I'm grabbing everything from my man, yo, you feel me? Shout out to my man, yo, you feel me? Support, you heard? Yes, sir.
Cool Green right here, Sadie. Cool Green, you already know downtown B-More, that's where we at. You already know representing New York, Harlem shit right here, uptown. But we downtown right now. You see that? My man, yo, come and get my man Cool Green. Rock it, you see it. I'm gonna make it look good for niggas to get. Daddy, sales is going up today because of the Cool Greens.
And I'm telling you, follow Cool Green Clothing. It's so important for us to support our entrepreneurs. There's so much talent in Baltimore. And as a creative entrepreneur myself, I know how hard it is. And I love to see just people going out there and going for their dreams. So let's get it. Bless up.
Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell. Comment down below and tell us what you think as you watch this video. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Like this video, it helps with the channel's algorithm. Now, let's get into it. Sadly, Baltimore City is one of those cities that is known for corruption by government officials. Not one, but two mayors have had to resign as mayor in disgrace because of their corruptive behavior. Catherine Pugh is one of them, and here is her story. Catherine Pugh, born Catherine Crump on March 10, 1950, was born in Norristown, Pennsylvania. She was raised and graduated from high school in Philadelphia. She earned a bachelor's, then master's degree in business administration from Morgan State University in Baltimore City. She is a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. Back in the late 1970s, Pugh taught a marketing and introduction to business course at Morgan State University. From the 80s to the early 90s, Pugh was an independent editor for the Baltimore Sun and a dean and director of Strayer Business College in Baltimore. In the mid-90s, she returned to Philly to work in local television. She was a host of a weekly public affairs program called Anchorview that focused on issues within the Black community. Pugh entered Baltimore city politics in 1999. That year, she was elected to the Baltimore City Council, where she served until 2004. In 2005, she was appointed a seat in the Maryland House of Delegates, where she served from 2005 to January 2007. She won a Senate state seat and served there from 2007 to December 2016. She entered the race for Baltimore mayor in 2015. She was an underdog to the former mayor Sheila Dixon until an endorsement from now deceased Congressman Elijah Cummings that boosted her campaigning efforts. Pugh won the general election on November 8, 2016 and took office the next month. Pugh became Baltimore's 50th mayor. As mayor, Pugh inherited a lot of issues from high crime levels to the cancellation of the Baltimore Red Line. She was also in favor of raising the minimum wage to $15 in Baltimore, but later vetoed the bill, making it clear to the residents of the city that promises are meant to be broken. While in public office, Catherine Pugh was coined a children's book author. Between 2011 and 2017, 4 children's books named Healthy Holly were published, with each book listing Catherine Pugh as the author. The vast majority of the books published by Healthy Holly were marketed and sold directly to nonprofit organizations and foundations, many of whom did business or attempted to do business with the Maryland and Baltimore city governments. Pugh hired a legislative aide named Gary Brown from 2011 to 2016. He was very active in her campaign endeavors, from her re-election for state senate in 2014 to her campaign aide for her 2016 mayoral election campaign. Following Catherine Pugh's election and inauguration, Brown was hired into her administration. However, after he was indicted for election law violation in January 2017, the governor withdrew his nomination. Brown owned a few consulting businesses and was a freelance tax preparer in Baltimore. Between 2011 until March 2019, Brown helped Pugh promote and sell the Healthy Holly books. He was responsible for the operations and the distribution of the Healthy Holly books, all while he was on the clock as Catherine Pugh's legislative aide and mayoral staff member. He didn't start to receive compensation for the books until 2016, when he started getting sales commissions. Just weeks after Pugh settled into office, an investigation began. This is when investigators discovered her close aide, Gary Brown, was disguising thousands of dollars in donations that helped Pugh win the mayoral primary. And he was indicted on election law violation for donating more than what was supposed to be given to the candidate at that time. At this point, investigators wanted to know where the money was coming from. After some digging by investigators, they realized it was from an unlikely source: Healthy Holly, Pugh's children's book series. Pugh admitted that from November 2011 until March 2019, she conspired with Gary Brown to defraud purchasers of Healthy Holly books in order to enrich themselves, promote Pugh's political career, and fund her campaign for mayor. They both admitted that they had several ways to defraud, including not delivering the books after they got paid for, taking payments for books to be delivered to a third party on behalf of the buyer, then converting the purchased books for their own use, and double selling books without the purchaser's knowledge or consent. The purchasers of the Healthy Holly book series include Kaiser Permanente and University of Maryland Medical Systems, among a few others that have dealings with Baltimore city government. UMMS purchased $500,000 worth of books to be distributed to the children in Baltimore City public schools, which came up to about 20,000 Healthy Holly books per 1, 2, and 3, which came up to about maybe 60,000 books. She did not make good on her end of the deal to distribute all the books. Instead, she kept some for herself. Then she sold to unwitting purchasers copies that had already been sold to UMMS and donated it to Baltimore City Public Schools. Pugh also used a local Baltimore-based charity to facilitate the resale and distribution of the already purchased books to new buyers. Neither the charity nor purchasers knew that Pugh was double selling the books. Pugh further admitted that she used the money from the sales of the books to fraudulently obtain more Healthy Holly books for her own purposes, including funding her mayoral campaign. She used it as like brochures or pamphlets to hand out to supporters. And she also used it in the renovation of a house in Baltimore City. She also admitted that she conspired to evade taxes on the income she received from the sales of Healthy Holly books. To pull it off, Pugh concealed from the IRS how much she actually got paid from the books. She created false expenses by writing checks to Brown's business for services she never received. She underreported her income in 2015 and 2016. In 2016, she claimed she only made $31,020, but in actuality, her taxable income was over $300,000. Once investigators started to look at records, financial documents, etc., they realized it seemed like from the beginning it was a scheme to make money and also to use it for her campaign. The books were rather poorly written and edited, with misspelled words and typos, practically being of no quality in so many words. In March 2019, after coming out of medical leave, she had a press conference addressing the suspicious dealings with University of Maryland Medical Systems, where she then debuted baby clothes and other merchandise pertaining to Healthy Holly. I guess she was trying to make an effort to show that this brand was meant to reach children and their parents. However, all that did was raise suspicions of her true intentions. In May 2019, Catherine Pugh resigned as mayor of Baltimore after a raid of city halls and multiple other places Catherine Pugh had connections to, like a nonprofit adult training center in West Baltimore and her home in a Baltimore suburb in which she purchased with the proceeds from her Healthy Holly book sales, according to investigators. Many citizens and Baltimore City Council officials called for her resignation. They were upset that Pugh would use her public office to commit such acts unbeknownst to the citizens of Baltimore, who at first were in support of the 50th mayor. They felt as though this was another blow to an already broken city. How could she have betrayed the city's trust in such a way, after proclaiming to be for the people, while using the health and welfare of the children in Baltimore City as her front? After pleading guilty, Catherine Pugh was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. She is now serving her time in a facility in Alabama. Catherine reportedly racked in almost $1 million in sales for these books that never really made it to who it was intended for, the children. Was she herself used as a pawn by the higher-ups for something deeper than these books? Did she really ever care about Baltimore? Or was it all for personal gain? Those are the questions that the people of the city have to ask themselves every day. Because, hey, that's the Baltimore way. Thank you all for watching. If you made it this far, please hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. It helps get the channel recognized, and I'm sure you like this video. Feel free to share this video with everyone you know. Comment down below and share your thoughts on this story. Let us know who you want to see next. Hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so you can stay up to date with new uploads. This your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm out.